What's up, you guys? This is how to stay on track with your training as a digital nomad and traveling around. So for the last 4 years, I've been a digital nomad. I have been all over the place. I've been based out of Mexico, which is nice because it allows me to have a good set routine most of the year. But I love the fact that I can travel and go over the place. Like, I've been to Morocco, I've been to Romania, I was in Turkey, I went up and down the Balkans, I was in France, I was in Italy, I've been all over South America. I was just recently in Brazil and Chile and Argentina, right? I've been to Peru and Colombia, been in Guatemala, Costa Rica, right? I've had the chance to be all over the place. And for me, one of the biggest benefits of being a digital nomad, owning my own business, is like the time freedom it gives me, right? Which means that I've been able to take advantage and train more than I ever possibly would have if I was in the US working just like a normal 9-to-5 job. And for me, that's awesome. It allows me to go do jiu-jitsu in the middle of the day, go surf in the morning, get to the gym later in the afternoon when I really love to be at the gym at night, right? But being a digital nomad and traveling around can be quite problematic for your training. So here's how I go about staying on track with training for myself as I've traveled around for these past 4 years. First off, I think it's important to determine whether you're traveling or whether you're on vacation. Because if you're on vacation for a week or 2 weeks and you're just traveling around seeing stuff and you're kind of bouncing around, that's a little bit harder to deal with. But if you're digital nomading, if you're going to set up for 2 or 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, however long it may be, then it's important to follow these steps in order to stay on track with training, because we don't want to just treat it like a vacation while we're gone for 2 months, or that's seriously going to mess up our results. So the first thing you should do is do your research beforehand. For me, that includes finding a jiu-jitsu gym I want to go to, finding a good gym, and if there are waves, if I'm on the coast, right, or if I'm up in the mountains trying to go snowboard, right, finding out where the mountain is, finding out where the break is, and trying to get a spot as close to that as possible. So step one, you got to do your research before. For me, that involves finding out where a good jiu-jitsu gym is, where I can train with a schedule that fits my work schedule, as well as if there's other gyms where I can sneak in open mats and things like that. Finding a good gym, specifically if you like the gym, you're gonna go more often, versus if it's just like a pretty shitty gym you're just going to try and get by. And depending on if I'm in the mountains or if I'm on the ocean or what activity, board sport I'm looking for, right, I'll figure out where people go surf at, how long it takes to get there, what is it gonna take, am I gonna have to take public transit, can I walk, right, and figure that out, right? After that, I'll go about finding a spot that is close to all 3 of these things. And here, I think it's important to know yourself, right? For me, for example, the gym is probably the thing I'm the most lazy about going to do, right? So for me, it behooves me to be closer to the gym because then I don't have any excuse. Like here in Puerto, where I'm living now, the closest thing to me is the gym, right? And so I have no real excuse not to go to the gym. Now, that doesn't mean I always go, right? But it makes it much easier than if I was on the other side of Puerto, really close to jiu-jitsu. Like, I'm gonna go to jiu-jitsu anyway, right? The training and going to the gym part is a little bit tough. Same thing with like surfing. Surfing, I can be a little bit farther away because I like to surf. I want to get out there. I want to be in the waves. So I will drive a little bit extra in order to go. However, if I can be walking distance to the break, that's for sure what I want. The other consideration to take is that you should know your schedule beforehand. Know when the things are that you have to do, right? Like for me, I have classes at certain times, so I have to be there, and I have to be there a little bit beforehand to set up, make sure I'm prepared, make sure presentations are done and whatnot. So I'll also look into gyms, specifically if they're classes, like if it's you want to go take yoga classes or do jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing, whatever it is that's like a class and it's scheduled. Make sure you find a gym that is going to fit with your work schedule, right? Work comes first. Work is what lets us do all this crazy stuff. So we need to make sure that we can take care of our responsibilities before taking care of the fun stuff. And so even if there's like a gym or a jiu-jitsu spot, a yoga spot that has a class I might prefer, I'll probably go with my second or third option if that means that it's gonna fit into my time schedule so that I can get the most training possible. And if it's more open, like you're going to lift weights or you're going to go climbing, right? Make sure you'll find a gym that works with your work schedule. If you're a morning training person, make sure that gym is gonna be open early in the morning so that you can actually go. If you wanna train at night, make sure it's gonna be open late at night, right? Like there's a new gym here in Puerto Escondido, for example, that I would really love to go to, but it's only open until 7 in the afternoon, which means that I'm probably not going to make it because I have other things to do. I have work to do. I want to go surf. I want to go to jiu-jitsu, right? I choose a gym that is open late. It's the latest open gym. It's open 7 days a week. So even though I do have to work late or I can't make it on a weekday, I have the weekends to make it up. I also suggest that if you're in a new spot, be sure to leave time to explore new hobbies, right? To take new classes. Maybe you want to take a bachata class. Maybe you want to go do yoga once a week, right? You want to get into boxing or judo or whatever it may be. Do a little bit of research on that as well and see when you can fit that in, right? Obviously, work is number one. Make sure you can do that. Number two is the hobbies and things you want to actually do and that you're already committed to. And then make sure you leave time to try out new things, right? To go to a little dance class, go take a yoga class, meet new people, right? Digital nomading can be pretty lonely. Like if you're just working all the time and you're just relying on like exploring, right, to get your socialization, it's not really gonna work. Going and having a routine, whether that's just going to the gym or going and joining like a group class, amazing. That off the bat gives you one, something to talk about. It gives you a common thread if you're like practicing a language or you don't speak the language, right? And it gives you something to bond over. But also being able to go out and join something that you wouldn't normally do is a way to get out of your comfort zone, way to enjoy life a little bit better and meet more people. And last but not least, be sure to schedule in time to relax and recover, whether that is stretching, doing like an ice bath, hitting the sauna, whatever it may be. And also for intellectual things, right? For me, that might be, I might try and find like a chess club or like some park where old people meet up to play chess. Finding time to just go read on the beach, right? Or scheduling time to study a new language. Because at the end of the day, training is not just physical, it's also the intellectual side of things as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to click here to watch my last video. Leave a like down below and a comment letting me know how you schedule your training as you digital nomad and travel around. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.